This is from kellywarnerlaw.com/Iowa-defamation-laws-and-standards. Defining defamation in Iowa. Defamation in Iowa is any statement that can injure a person's reputation, incite hatred, or cause economic damage to a business. A plaintiff can bring a cause of action for defamation when such statements are made to a third party by the defendant, either with actual malice or negligently. It is the plaintiff's responsibility to prove that the defendant, 1. Made an unprivileged false statement of fact, 2. Made a statement that caused material harm for the plaintiff, 3. Was referring to the plaintiff and not someone else, and 4. Acted either negligently or with actual malice. The Iowa Defamation Statute of Limitations is 2 years. Public versus private figures under Iowa defamation law. Under Iowa defamation law, government officials, elected or appointed, and celebrities, both long-standing and limited purpose, are considered public figures for the purposes of a slander or libel lawsuit. Public figures have a harder time litigating defamation cases because they must prove actual malice existed on the part of the defendant. A private figure, on the other hand, only has to prove that the defendant was negligent when making defamatory claims. Defenses for defamation in Iowa. Iowa allows defendants to defend themselves on the basis of truth. The fair reporting privilege also applies to news agencies that are sued for slander or libel. Under the fair reporting privilege, news agencies can defend themselves by publishing a conspicuous retraction, either voluntarily or when demanded by the plaintiff. When the plaintiff demands that a retraction of defamatory content be made, the publication has 2 weeks to do so. Complying with the plaintiff's demand for retraction mitigates the damages the plaintiff can recover should a jury find in favor of the plaintiff. If the defendant fails to comply with the plaintiff's demand for retraction, then the jury can award full damages, including exemplary damages, to the plaintiff. Iowa is a per se state. Defamation per se in Iowa is any statement or publication that is inherently slanderous or libelous. Examples include, but are not limited to, statements related to the plaintiff's sexual promiscuity, statements related to the plaintiff having a disease that many people find loathsome, accusations of criminal activity, and accusations of professional misconduct or incompetency. Since per se statements are in and of themselves defamatory, the plaintiff does not have to prove damages. The exception, however, comes with political candidates. A political candidate cannot sue for defamation regarding of his or her alleged sexual misconduct if the defamatory statement was printed with less than 2 weeks before Election Day. Damages awarded for defamation in Iowa. Among the damages for defamation in Iowa include actual damages, compensatory damages, and punitive damages. If negligently a person were to make a false statement in public to a third-party persons or to publish it online about me, a private person, the YouTube account with 300 subscribers does not qualify me under the law as a public figure. Iowa is a per se defamation state. This is why I don't ever say something about someone unless I know it to be true. If you say something about someone, even if you didn't know it was true, but you didn't bother to put any other context to it or understand the source of the untrue statement, may themselves not be capable of truth, any statement that could negatively harm my reputation or the business that I work for's reputation is actionable by law in Iowa. And neither party, me as a private individual or my employer, will have to show damages. All we have to show is negligence. So, if anyone watching this is considering or has already made any kind of statements about me and anything to do with my stepdaughter, under Iowa law, you now have a cease and desist from me And if I find out that anyone has published anything and not taken it down, I will send a hard copy with the sheriff's deputy to cease and desist, retract and remove. I will not tolerate false statements, especially ones that can harm my reputation, my ability to earn a living. I've had a hard enough time, the situation when my wife left. I received a phone call today from someone accusing me of something in a non-legal way, of something that to begin with is not illegal, and to secondly, but more importantly, never happened. Never was going to happen. We now have a defamation definition in play. I had a guy text me today asking if I wanted to sell my truck. So yeah, I can afford a lawyer. So can my boss. Cease and desist all defamation of me. Remove any and all false statements and perform your due diligence before making such statements. Else, you are doing so negligently. And if you do so because you simply dislike me, that is actual malice.